Hello, beautiful souls, and welcome back to She Feels Everything. I'm Gill Minto. Before we dive into the story today, I want to take a moment to honour the current energy, the partial solar eclipse that happened at the weekend that stirred the skies, and the autumn equinox that now turns us inward. We're crossing a powerful threshold right now. A partial eclipse in Virgo just before the equinox has opened a portal of transformation, urging us to release old stories, shadows, and hidden patterns. Right behind it, the autumn equinox arrives as the sun shifts into Libra, bringing balance, reflection, and seasonal transition. The equinox is a moment of equal light and dark, a pause between summer and winter. It asks us to reflect on what we've harvested and what we're ready to release. The eclipse and this equinox together create a potent threshold, endings and beginnings, shadow work and rebirth. For empaths and highly sensitive souls, this time can feel especially intense. You might notice tiredness, fatigue, or even a heaviness in your body as your system tries to integrate the shift in light and energy. Some of you may feel restless or emotionally stirred, while others may need more rest, more grounding, and gentler self-care. It's normal to feel like your nervous system is on high alert during these cosmic changes. You're turning into the collective energy as well as your own. I know for maybe about 2 or 3 days, I didn't sleep. My sleep was disturbed, which has an impact on my day-to-day life anyway. But I was really, really shattered. As an empath and a highly sensitive, I felt this one, the partial eclipse energy that we just had over the weekend. And then coming off that into the autumn equinox, I honestly felt on Sunday, it was a bit like a tower moment in tarot. I just felt like everything was crumbling beneath my feet. I was teary, I felt upset, I was irritable, frustrated with everything. All my emotions were just coming to the surface. And that's another thing, you need to be kind to yourself. You need to honor your emotions if you do feel like anything like that coming up with the seasonal changes and what's happening with partial eclipses. It can have an effect on us. So if you're feeling slower, needing naps, or craving stillness, please honor that. This season is inviting you to pause, to breathe, and to let your sensitivity be your guide as we move into autumn's inward journey. A few ways you might support yourself right now are through things like salt baths. I use Epsom salts, 2 cups in a bath, and that's enough to reset my body. And while I'm doing that, it's also cleansing your energy. And I say things, like affirmations. This water will remove any negative energy from my body, things like that. You can do journaling to process what's surfacing, all those emotions that I just talked about that were coming up. The anger, the upset, the frustration. I knew it wasn't. It was just the time of year. Partial eclipse and the autumn equinox, all that energy was just coming to the surface and needed just a way out. And it's not about really rushing that process. You've just got to let it roll out. roll with the waves, as I always say, you know, just let it come out. If you need to cry, cry, you know, let it out. If you're angry, punch a pillow, that's really good. Things like that. Walking in nature to ground your body back into rhythm with the earth is really good. Getting outside, you know, walking amongst trees, anything like that is great. These are simple rituals that can make this transition just a little bit more gentler and a bit more nourishing. So today's episode is called Searching But Not Seeing. This one is close to my heart because it takes me back to a time after I had left a painful relationship. A relationship that left deep scars through emotional and mental abuse, and times when my boundaries were ignored. Even though I had escaped and came back to the Northeast, I found myself searching for love, but unable to truly see it or to let it in. My heart had closed to protect me, but it also kept me from finding the connection I longed for. This might be a tender episode, so please give yourself lots of self-care after listening to this episode. When someone leaves an abusive relationship like I did, the journey isn't over. In many ways, it's just beginning, really. The escape brings relief, yes, but it also brings with it a wave of confusion. I know I felt that afterwards. Your body and mind can still feel unsafe. And even though you're technically free from all that, free from the mental and emotional abuse or even the physical abuse, you're free from everything that's happened, it's common to stay hypervigilant, to second guess yourself, and to even feel like the ground beneath you is a bit unsteady. I know I mentioned in the last episode that I'd blocked him when I moved back up to the Northeast. But I can remember me and my sister went down to Manchester. I can't remember whether it was a holiday or a day trip or something, but I remember walking around Manchester thinking, I'm going to see him. And I was so hypervigilant. I was watching my back, watching as he went around every corner. It was a very strange feeling. So yeah, it's not uncommon to be hypervigilant and for your senses to be totally amplified. And I know one of the most tender after effects is the emotional numbness. Many survivors find that their heart instinctively closes. And that's a form of protection. I know mine did for years and years and years, a long, long time. And it's quite sad, really. As much as I longed for love, my heart was protecting myself. And love does become something that we long for. But at the same time, something is feared, and that door closes. When the door closes, it's the nervous system's way of saying, not yet, it's not safe enough. So it's not really, it's like your security blanket. Your heart's just saying no. You've had too much. You've been through too much. Your heart is closing just to protect you. So it's a nice thing, really, but it can take a long, long time for your heart to open up again. I know for me, it took me, years, and I'm talking years, a long, long time, and I just wasn't ready. So I started doing horse healing like last year, which I'll talk about in a later episode. So yes, it can be a long, long journey. But intimacy and trust can be difficult to rebuild. I mean, you might want connection and even step into dating again like I did, but there's a push-pull happening underneath. Sometimes the wrong people are drawn in, and repeating patterns of control or unkindness happens. Other times the right people may come close, but you find yourself pushing them away without even fully understanding why. So that can happen too. Your kind of subconscious blocks that kindness and that love, which is sad in a way, but it's again, you're just not ready for it emotionally. And you can't handle that intimacy yet. Then it can create a season of loneliness, of searching for love, but not really seeing it clearly. Dating may happen, but nothing seems to last, because deep inside, the heart is still protecting you, protecting itself. It's easy in these moments to wonder if something's wrong with you, and there's nothing wrong with you at all. But the truth is, this is part of recovery. Your body and your soul are asking for time, they're asking for space and healing before they can fully open to love again. And it's important to remember there's no weakness in this. There's nothing wrong with you, like I said before. The after effects of abuse are not a sign of being broken. They are signs of your strength, of how much you endured, and how wisely your system is now guarding your heart until it feels safe to bloom again. So don't lose hope. Please don't lose hope. If you're going through this now, or if you've been through it in the past, there is light at the end of the tunnel. You can get through this. So I'd now like to read a little bit from my book, Searching But Not Seeing. This is chapter 6. You might resonate with this. I entered a strange season, a quiet, drifting chapter where everything seemed fine on the outside. I was living in my own flat, working, rebuilding, but on the outside I was still hollowed out. I was numb, guarded. My heart, it turns out, didn't know how to open anymore. I had protected myself so fiercely in order to survive that I didn't know how to let love back in, even the good kind. I tried dating again. I wanted companionship. I wanted someone to see me, to hold me, to love me. But every time I tried to let someone in, something inside me froze. It was like I couldn't access the part of myself that knew how to connect anymore. I would get anxious. I would feel drained. Sometimes I would lose interest after a few dates. Other times, I'd find myself pretending I was okay when I wasn't, performing normal when inside I was anything but. That was from my book, She Felt Everything. From my heart to yours, if you find yourself searching for love, but feeling unable to truly receive it, please know this is not your failure. It is a necessary part of the journey from brokenness to wholeness. Your heart closed to protect you. That very closure was a sacred act of survival. But the gift of your sensitivity and courage is that in time you can begin to open again, but on your terms, with your boundaries, and with the person who truly sees you. You are worthy of a love that meets you where you are. You are worthy of safety. You are worthy of intimacy that honors your soul. And even if you can't see it yet, love is not lost. It may simply be waiting for you to heal enough to let it in. May this chapter of your journey be one of reclamation, of gentleness, and of trusting your inner light to guide you home. So let's now take a lovely, relaxing, grounding breath together. I invite you to place both feet on the floor. Bring one hand to your heart and the other hand to your belly, and just connect with your breath. If it feels comfortable, close your eyes, or if not, gaze softly down towards the floor. Let's connect with our breathing. And let's take a couple of deep breaths, breathing in through your nose. Hold for a moment and breathe out through the mouth. And again, breathe in through your nose. Hold for a moment and gently breathe out through your mouth. Breathing in acceptance, holding and exhaling fear. Feel your hand resting on your heart. Feel your breath connecting you to yourself. Remind yourself, I am safe. I am worthy. Thy heart will open in its own time. I am safe. I am worthy. My heart will open in its own time. And now imagine yourself being wrapped in the softest blanket, like a lovely warm hug, holding you in safety and comfort. Let yourself rest there for a moment, knowing you are loved, protected, and never truly alone. Let's take another couple of deep breaths together. Breathe in and breathe out. Breathe in and breathe out. And when you're ready, come back to the present. Wiggle your fingers and wiggle your toes. And when you're ready, you can open your eyes. Thank you for holding space with me today, for leaning into discomfort, and for walking this sensitive path with courage. If this episode found you, please subscribe, share, or leave a comment, as it helps others feel less alone. Until next time, take deep care of your sensitive heart. Love, light, and blessings. From Gill, the inner hearing empath. She feels everything.